Welcome to WT History. In this series, we list all the major events that happened in the world in a year, starting from 1776 to 2024. On February 3rd, a new chapter in education began with the founding of Wake Forest University, initially known as the Wake Forest Manual Labor Institute. Located in North Carolina, it was part of a larger movement promoting practical education. By March 6th, the city of Toronto was officially incorporated, then known as York, Upper Canada, marking the rise of what would become Canada's most populous city. Just days later, on March 11th, the United States Survey of the Coast was moved under the Department of the Navy, reinforcing its strategic importance for national defense and maritime navigation. Then, on March 28th, President Andrew Jackson faced political backlash as the United States Congress censured him, a historic rebuke, though it would later be expunged in 1837. On April 10th, horror struck New Orleans when the LaLaurie Mansion burned. Madame Marie Delphine LaLaurie fled to France after gruesome secrets about her treatment of enslaved people were revealed, shocking the nation. Only 4 days later, on April 14th, a new political force emerged. Senator Henry Clay officially coined the term Whig Party, rallying those opposed to Jackson's policies. The summer brought invention. On June 21st, Cyrus McCormick received a patent for his mechanical reaper, revolutionizing agriculture and boosting crop productivity across the country. From July 7th to 10th, anti-abolitionist riots erupted in New York City, exposing the intense resistance to the growing anti-slavery movement. Then, on August 11th and 12th, mobs burned down an Ursuline convent near Boston, driven by anti-Catholic and anti-immigrant sentiment, a dark episode of religious intolerance. Elsewhere in the South, the Medical School of Louisiana was founded in New Orleans, a forerunner to Tulane University, advancing medical education in the region. And making early strides in clean energy, Thomas Davenport, inventor of the first American DC motor, installed his motor into a model car, one of the first electric vehicles in history. Over in Europe, on January 1st, the Zollverein, a German customs union, abolished tariffs within its member states, a major step toward German economic unification. In March, Scotland's Steam Carriage Company, founded by John Scott Russell, launched one of the first road-based passenger services operating between Glasgow and Paisley. On April 22nd, major European powers, Spain, France, Portugal, and the United Kingdom, signed the Quadruple Alliance, aligning their interests in maintaining monarchies and stability. However, tensions still ran high. On June 7th, Greek war hero Theodoros Kolokotronis was sentenced to death for treason. His opposition to King Otto's rule marked the lingering tensions in post-independence Greece. Back in Spain, the Spanish Inquisition, infamous since the 15th century, was finally suppressed on July 15th by royal decree, ending centuries of religious persecution. The following day, William Lamb, 2nd Viscount Melbourne, succeeded Earl Grey as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, guiding Britain through turbulent political reforms. On July 24th, the Liberal Wars in Portugal concluded, restoring Queen Maria II to the throne and ending years of civil conflict. But poverty remained a concern. On August 14th, the UK passed the Poor Law Amendment Act, declaring that no able-bodied man would receive aid unless he entered a workhouse, igniting fierce social debate. On August 15th, the South Australia Act enabled Britain to formally establish a colony in South Australia, laying foundations for new settlements. On September 18th, Athens was declared the capital of Greece, reconnecting the modern nation to its ancient heritage. Disaster followed on October 16th in London, where the Palace of Westminster, home to Parliament, burned down. Faulty destruction of tally sticks caused the blaze, wiping out both houses of Parliament. By November 14th, King William IV dismissed Prime Minister Melbourne, replacing him temporarily with Arthur Wellesley, the Duke of Wellington, forming a caretaker government. A few weeks later, on December 3rd, Germany conducted its first national census under the Zollverein, revealing a population of over 23 million. Then on December 10th, Sir Robert Peel replaced Wellington, beginning a new chapter in British leadership. Meanwhile, Charles Babbage began conceptual work on the Analytical Engine, a mechanical computer centuries ahead of its time. A statue of Jean-Jacques Rousseau was also erected in Geneva, honoring the Enlightenment thinker in his birthplace. Turning to global events, on January 3rd, the Mexican government imprisoned Stephen F. Austin in Mexico City, straining relations with American settlers in Texas. On February 12th, freed American slaves from Maryland founded a settlement in Palmas, Cape Palmas, known as the Republic of Maryland, part of the movement to resettle African Americans in West Africa. On March 14th, astronomer John Herschel discovered NGC 36603, an open star cluster, while observing from the Cape of Good Hope. Back in Arabia, May 9th saw the assassination of Imam Turki bin Abdullah al Saud, founder of the Second Saudi State, following orders from his cousin Mashari. But on July 8th, his son, Imam Faisal bin Turki, exacted revenge by killing both Ibrahim Hamza and Mashari, establishing himself as the new ruler and continuing the Second Saudi State. Meanwhile, the Syrian peasant revolt erupted on May 19th. Widespread unrest spread across Palestine, Transjordan, and the Syrian coast in opposition to Egyptian rule. Harsh crackdowns left thousands dead, and most of the revolt was subdued by August. On September 13th, the Gleaner newspaper published its first edition in Jamaica, becoming a long-standing voice in Caribbean journalism. Then, on December 11th, the Sixth Xhosa War began in Cape Colony, with violent clashes between Dutch-speaking settlers and Bantu peoples, reshaping South African history. Finally, the British East India Company lost its monopoly on China trade, and a tea committee was formed to explore the potential of Assam tea, laying groundwork for a new era in global tea markets. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through 1834, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for updates.